Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, October 26th, 2022. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy hump day, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice right now, very narrow inside day right now that's developed. This inside day, only 28% of average range right now, 28%. So if we drop this down to a one-day look here, you'll see right here 28% of ADR, 29.75 points. It's been averaging 104 on a 10, 82 on a 5. Actually, a little bit more than that as these are developing numbers. But for the most part, this is a very narrow range against the average over the last 5 to 10 sessions. You can see the volatility clearly picked up on this strong low Thursday, Friday, Monday, big time high range days. Another couple here going higher. So big time movement overall, but right now, very, very modest price action. We do have GDP coming up tomorrow morning prior to the RTH Open. That could be a huge headline risk economic report that leads to the next big move. We could be range bound heading into that report. You also see right here, prices push through the top end of this recent range. You have a little bit of a rounded bottom here. You also have a rising 8 period average. All of this is very bullish in the short term. However, as we know this year, after strength, there's been a propensity here to see big time selling pressure come into play. And so again, with GDP looming, are we going to get a reaction to that report that again sends us way down? If so, again, that could be another big rotation back toward lows. Right now, this market has been bouncing off the cycle low of this channel. Maybe we have a little bit more upside. I mentioned before, on a bullish scenario, we might hit 4,100. So on any pullback, if we could form another higher low, that could propel us higher into value up above. And again, after a move like that, it might get sold yet again. So right now, watching to see how the market responds here today heading into tomorrow's GDP report. If we take a look here at the NQ, this one came right into the upper edge of its trading range yesterday and back down a bit right now. This is a big time gap down from where we were at the end of the previous day. We got weakness here after the RTH closed via the Microsoft Google earnings, and that kind of pulled things back here. Do we get a broader pullback again? Do we pull back here to 11K? Do we go back toward lows? Or can we find a strong higher low here, failed new low, higher low that propels us higher? Again, if this thing can get through the 11,800 level, it opens up the potential to rally this thing back up even as high as 13K, which could be VWAP. Again, that's a similar scenario that played out last quarter before it fell. And even if we were to rally again, got to be mindful of the potential downturn up ahead. Do we even get that high? That's going to be the question here. Again, if there's a failure to push through 11.8, that might rotate things back down and get things going back to the downside. So again, keeping an eye on 11,800. We take a look at crude oil. This one is up right now 1 1/3%, but it's still within that developing narrow range. Look at this. The last 4 days have had closes all in the same area. You have this closed, then you have that closed, then you have this closed, and you have that closed. So 4 days in a row. If you go back to the day before that, the close was here. So again, unless we're breaking out from this narrow range here, we may close the day right back near the day's open price. That's just how this market has responded over the last week plus of trading. If you look at the intraday time frames like the 60-minute charts, back and forth price action throughout much of the week. Again, this narrow range right here is big time. It's a 7 or 8 day narrow range now, 8 days developing, and again, we're looking at about a 10 to 12 point breakout move, maybe even more. And whenever we find directional conviction out of this range, perhaps it's to the upside, it could give us the next move that takes us to VWAP. That would be about a 10 to 12 point move. If we fail here and drop to the downside, again, that would be about a 10 to 12 point move to get back toward these lows. So still building that energy, and very soon a major breakout opportunity could be ahead. If we take a look at gold futures here, Gold has had a test at the edge here. This was the edge we mentioned yesterday, 1680. If price can push through 1680, it could open up the upside back as high as 1738, which are these highs. But upon testing it this morning, price pushed through those highs and failed and is brought right back down. This is also right at the previous week's highs as well. Previous week's high is there. That was a double test on it yesterday, so price breaking above the previous week's high and then rotating back down. So again, big time level here, 1680. If price can push through there in the days ahead, you know, something like this, it opens up that upside over the next several days. A failure, though, could be very, very interesting, as we may put pressure on this lower double bottom up ahead. But right now, keeping an eye on 1680, that opens up the upside. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops here heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trader room. Take care.